Oh, yeah.
Hey, thank you. I'd like to start the Planning Commission meeting Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. It is at 6:30. I'm going to call to order. I'm going to determination of a quorum. Mr. Ray's.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Burke.
Here.
Mr. Kinney.
Here.
Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Mr. Mattson.
Here.
Secretary Lukowitz.
Here.
Vice Chair Kalunian.
Here.
Chairman Flynn is here. We do have a full quorum tonight. Before we start, if anybody's here for Boyd Brook, it is continued to May 25th. And I will announce that again during the meeting. If we all could stand for pledge of allegiance, we'll do evacuation first.
Yeah.
In case of an emergency, out those doors, left or right. If you can't get out those doors, you can go through this door out to the back. Please stand. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we do have the Zoom component when the public hearing begins. I just want to inform everybody of that. So first, we do have election of officers. It's been ongoing because of COVID. We're a little late on it, so we want to get it done tonight. So we'll start with chairman. Have a motion. Is anybody interested other than the three that are in place now? If not, I'll do the chairman first. I get a nomination for chairman.
I'll make a nomination for Ron Flynn for chairman.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, no nays, thank you. Okay, we'll do vice chairman. Nomination for vice chairman, please.
I'll nominate for vice chairman Rick Kalunian.
I'll second it.
We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Rick.
Thanks.
And we also need a nomination for secretary.
I'll nominate Sandy Lukowitz for secretary.
We have a nomination. Do we
I'll
have a
second it.
second? We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Ratification of decisions. Need a motion? We have Hopkins Hill Hollow Estates, owner, Camp Green Association, CO, River Point, AC Church, applicant John W. Studley III. So ratification of master plan approval for major residential 7-lot cluster subdivision, AP 308, lot 28, zone RR5. Address is 323 Hopkins Hollow Road. Can I get a motion for ratification?
I'll make a motion for
I have a
ratification.
motion, I have a motion from Jim. Do I have a second? I have a second from Sandy. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Yeah, they're next. Okay, 6.2, we have another ratification of a decision, Coventry Landfill Solar, owner, Town of Coventry, applicant Russ Mayman, Watershed Solar Development, ratification of a preliminary plan of approval for the creation of an approximate 6.8 megawatt and direct current ground-mounted solar installation consisting of approximately 10,582 modules, AP 7 lot 37, and AP 15 lots 96, 97.1 and 97.2 zone BP, and that's on Arnold Road. I have a motion to ratify.
Motion to
I
ratify.
have a motion from Jim Kenny. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second from Chuck Smith. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Okay. Have approval of minutes. The first one is March 23rd, 2022. I have a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve the March 23rd minutes.
I have a motion from Mr. Mattson. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second from Mr. Reyes. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes are approved for March 23rd. Also had 7.2, we had a site walk, April 9th, 2022. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes on the site walk?
Make a motion that we approve the minutes on.
I have a motion by Mr. Smith. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kenny. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Approval of minutes for April 9th. Site walk is approved. Okay, next. Let's see.
Bond reduction. Do you mind?
Yeah. I had it here. Okay, next we have a bond reduction, 8.1, the Oaks at East Shore, owner applicant D2 Homes and Company. Applicant has requested bond reductions for both Phase 1 and Phase 3 for work completed. AP 23 lots 47 and 47.001. And AP 32 lot 152 zoned R20 East Shore Drive Extension. Is there anyone here representing the applicant? How you doing?
Good.
Okay, do the numbers look correct to you?
Address.
Yeah,
Name and address for the record, please.
Robert DeBlois.
And the address?
It's address East Shore Drive. I'm not
The-
sure what
the
the
office.
actual number is.
The office.
190 Love Lane,
Okay,
Warwick, Rhode Island.
thank you. Do those numbers look right to you?
Yeah, this is what Bruce Hagerman gave us.
I have Phase 1 reduced to 254, 240 from 579, 700. Reduced by 254 to 325, 460. And Phase 3, I have reduced by 83, 625 from 348, 300 to 264, 675.
Yeah, looks right.
You go with that?
Yep.
Okay, any discussion from the board before I ask for a motion?
Anything?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
So the memo that we have from Bruce Hagerman on April 19th has the Phase 1 bond currently at 579.7 and Phase 3 at 348.3.
Yes.
And he has new calculations based on work completed to have Phase 1 be set at 325,460 and Phase 3 at 264,675.
Right, that's what I said.
Okay, just checking.
Wanted to make
No,
sure.
that's good. I'm glad you.
And nothing's changed in the spreadsheet. Looks good, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for a bond reduction.
I'll make a motion for bond reduction for the Oak City Shore, Phase
Okay.
1 and 3.
I have a motion by Mr. Kenny. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Reyes. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. Okay, next, we have a one-year approval extension request. The Oak City Shore owner applicant, DT Homes and Company. Applicant has requested a one-year extension of a final approval. AP 23 lots 47, 47.001 and AP 32 lot 152, zone R20. It's each East Shore Drive extension. And I think in your packet, you saw the reasoning behind that. And I see the applicant is still here for this. Is there any discussion on the board on why he's asking for an extension?
It's just because it was phased and you haven't got to that phase, or there's no slowdown, right? Because of the economy or anything, or supply chain. I was just kind of curious.
It's not really that. We literally just started house construction right now. We only have 2 foundations in. It's a 33 lot subdivision. So we're working on Phase 1 right now, trying to get permits on Phase 3A. We're looking for an extension to basically hold off on having to put up a bond for phase 2 and 3B, just because we're really not going to need those lots for quite some time.
Got it.
It just wouldn't really make sense for us right now.
Thanks for the explanation. I'm all set.
Thanks. Anybody else have any questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for the 1-year approval extension.
I'll make a motion for the 1-year approval of an extension for the Oak City Shore as presented.
I have a motion by Mr. Smith. Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a second by Ms. Lukowitz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
extension approved. Good night. Good night.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, we have recommendations to zoning for special use permits. 9.1, recommendation to zoning board of review for Parry Garage, 20 Allison Avenue, owner Cassandra Parry, applicant Mark Parry. Applicant is seeking a special use permit to replace an existing shed located 3 feet from the property line with a 14 by 24 garage that will be 5 feet from the property line. It's AP 323, lot 189, zone RR3, and the address is 20 Allison Avenue. And is this Mark?
Yes,
Hi, name and address for the record, please.
sure. My name is Mark Parry. I live on 18 Allison Avenue.
Okay,
This is on 20.
okay. If you just want to tell the board, but it looks pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, so my daughter and my father live there, and he wants to put a garage up so he can park his car in there in the winter and keep it out of the elements. It's quite a few pines.
Your mic on.
It's on. It must just be me. Well, first, I want to thank you guys for everything you do, and thanks for hearing me today.
You're welcome.
But I have some pictures also that weren't presented. I printed out a bunch of them, but I can show them. So this is the shed that's there now. The picture that's over there is kind of tough to see, but it doesn't even show the shed because of the pine trees. But that's the shed that's there that we want to remove and add the garage. They're not too far off from sizes. It is in the front of the house, so we're on the water. So like some people call the pond side the front, and I know it's all craziness, but the backyard is the front yard. The front yard's the backyard. When you drive in that late on that street, all the houses are really close to the road. Our 2 houses are pushed back. So the garage would look like it's supposed to be there. And I'm kind of a fussy butt. I like things nice. And I know by not wanting a garage in front of the house, you're thinking, it won't look good for Coventry, but it'll look good. It'll match the house and it'll match the street because all the houses are up that close. But I don't know. That's about all I got.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate that. And then, unfortunately, the houses were there before the zoning, so
Yes, I
they're all
understand.
considered non-conforming lots,
Yes,
and that's why they're close together, because I believe that's an RR3. I think
that's right. Dash Street. Yeah, which I had to
there's
learn all
nothing-
about.
Nobody has 3 acres over there.
Yeah, they're 50-foot lots. They're rather long, but they're 50-foot lots. Our 2 lots are longer than a lot of them. So our house is pushed back closer to the water. And there's really no other place to put a garage other than that spot. I mean, and that shed it's an eyesore, and it's been there a long time, and it has a foundation under it, but we'll just knock it down and put a garage there.
Okay. Does anybody else from the board have any questions for the applicant?
I do.
Okay.
You have a cemetery on the
No.
property? No?
No,
Oh, okay. I thought I read that.
no, that would scare me. I'd have nightmares.
Okay.
No cemetery. No.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Just, I don't know, my own interest. Is that garage going to back out to the driveway, or you're going to back onto the road?
Onto the road, but there's also going to be a driveway along the side of it where you could still get to the house. So there'll still be access for fire trucks and whatever. So the
Okay.
garage would come in from the road and go into the garage. And
Right.
there'll also be another driveway alongside of it because it's just a one-car garage. Anything bigger than that wouldn't look appealing.
And what is that? I think I saw it somewhere. What is it, like 25 feet off the road?
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, if hearing none, entertain a motion for recommendation to zoning.
I'll give it a shot.
Thank you, Jim.
I'd like to make a favorable recommendation to zoning for special use permit. Owner applicant Cassandra Parr, 20 Allison Avenue, AP 323, lot 189, zone RR3, rural residential. Existing use, single-family residential. Proposed use is a single-family residential with garage. The applicant is seeking a special use permit to construct a 14 by 24 garage in the front yard. It is proposed that the garage will be located 5 feet off the property line, which is actually better because the shed is 3 feet, so you're actually improving it. Let's see. Proposed garage will not impede automotive, pedestrian safety, traffic flow, or access to the property. There's ingress and egress to the lot is provided via the existing driveway. There's sufficient off-street parking is available on the property, and the proposed garage will not decrease the number of parking spaces. Utilities are pre-existing. General compatibility with lots in the same and abutting districts. The review of the surrounding area indicates that the nearby lots also contain structures that fall below the minimum standards. The proposal will not alter the general character of the area and can be considered compatible with abutting users. The proposal is consistent with the Coventry Comprehensive Plan, and the granting of the special use permit will not affect health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood. I would also like to include the planning director's report in my motion.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by Mr. Reyes. Is there any discussion? Yes.
Can you hear me from over here?
Yes.
So Herb Durfee, Interim Director for Planning and Development Office. I just want to acknowledge Ms. Lukowitz's comment with regard to the cemetery that is in the director's report on, that's error on our part. We'll make sure as we move forward with the zoning board that that's struck or made sure that it's out of it. So we apologize.
So you did.
No nightmares.
Yeah, I only asked because I'm on the cemetery committee. And
Thank you.
we would really like to see the cemetery if we could.
Yeah, I wonder where it is on that road. I can't picture it. What's the top? Oh, right when you first turn on. That's on Whitman, though. That's
it's on
Whitman.
Whitman.
Yeah, so there's a cemetery on Flat River Road in Whitman, right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right at the corner.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, I'll amend my motion. As noted in the planning director's report, there's a cemetery on the property. That is an error and will be struck from the documents by the planning department.
Okay, Mr. Reyes, you want to amend your second?
Yep.
Okay. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Not opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thanks. Okay, 9.2, we have another recommendation to the zoning board of review. It's for a special use permit. It's a Shipper Kitchen Extension Edition, 12 Hill Farm Camp Road, owner applicant Stephen Shipper. Applicant is seeking a special use permit to expand their existing kitchen with an 8x14 addition located in the rear of the house. It's AP 33 lot 006. 013-0012, zoned RR2, 12 Hill Farm Camp Road. Mr. Shipper?
Good afternoon,
Hi.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm Attorney John Bevilacqua. I represent Mr. Sharpa.
Name and address, please.
John Bevilacqua, 145 Phoenix Avenue.
All right,
Branch.
thank you.
Mr. Sharpa's to my left.
Hi.
Stephen Chapel.
So, yes, Mr. Sharpa's looking for an extension on his kitchen, approximately 104 square feet, give or take. This is a lot, it's pre-existing non-conforming lot. Bought the house, he's looking to expand his family, just needs a little more space in order to do so. He's still going to conform with the neighborhood. He's not going to put any undue hardship on the community. it's going to look as though it's been there for however long the building's been there since its initial construction. This is really the only relief that's necessary for him, and it's the least amount of impact possible.
Yes, and like I said to the applicant before, when zoning was done, it's a pre-existing, so it falls under the non-conforming.
Yes.
So, any questions for the applicant?
So after the comment from the last applicant, is the front of the house the pond side or the street side? I'm serious, because it's not shown on the plan. You're putting the kitchen towards the pond side or the road side?
Ponds.
Pond side. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Anybody else have any questions? Yeah, I'll entertain a motion to recommend this to zoning.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Mr. Burke.
On the matter of the Shopper Kitchen extension, recommendation to the zoning board, I will make a favorable recommendation for the applicant owner, Stephen Shopper. The address is 12 Hill Farm Camp Road, AP 33, lot 6.13, zone RR2. The existing use is a single-family residential, and the proposed use is the same. The applicant is seeking a special use permit to expand their existing kitchen with an 8-foot by 14-foot addition located in the rear of the house, which is the pond side. On the findings of fact, ingress and egress to the lot is provided via an existing drive with permanent physical access to Hill Farm Camp Road. The proposed addition will not impede automotive or pedestrian safety, traffic flow, or access to the property. Sufficient off-street parking is available on the property, and the proposed addition will not decrease the number of parking spaces. The utilities are pre-existing. The abutting properties and surrounding neighborhood is primarily single-family residential, and the proposal is compatible with abutting properties. The proposal is generally consistent with the Coventry Comprehensive Plan, and the granting of a special use permit should not affect the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood. And again, that is a favorable recommendation to the zoning board of review.
Mr. Burke, would you like to add the director's report?
And I will add the director's report to my motion.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Colonian. Any discussion? Hey, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Good luck. Motion carried.
Don't tell that to the planning director.
Okay, 9.3, we have another recommendation to the zoning board of review for special use permit. LeMake Post and Beam Carport, 25 Breezy Lake Drive, applicant Alan LeMake, owners Alan LeMake and Charlene Jones. Applicant is seeking a special use permit to construct an 18 by 18 carport on the right side of the existing house, AP 70, lot 78, zone R20. And the address is 25 Breezy Lake Drive. And name and address, please.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Board. And thank you for hearing us tonight. My name is David Devane. I reside at 11 Gentry Farms, Coventry. And we're here tonight to ask for the recommendation to the zoning board for a post and beam carport located on 25 Breezy Lake.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
Yeah, it's just for lot coverage, right? That's what the special use permit is for?
I believe so, yes, and it's just slightly over the 20%. I think by maybe even 0.5% or 1%. The carport will be located on the right side of the home when standing from the road looking in front. It won't affect any of the neighbors. It won't affect anyone's view. In fact, it's going to reduce the hardship on the homeowners entering in and out of the home with icy and bad weather and that type of thing. So it's an open carport, low profile to fit the structure of the house. And we're hoping that this will go forward.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
So, Mr. Chair, just as clarification, the reason for the special use permit is because the existing house currently doesn't meet the setbacks. So it's a non-conforming structure.
As the rest.
And again, the lot is undersized, so it's a non-conforming.
Because
lot as
zoning
well.
was done after.
Right.
Okay.
So you're expanding the non-conformity, thereby triggering a special use permit. That's why we're requiring a special use permit.
Thank you, John, for clarifying that.
She said it.
So I have two questions. Is this attached to the dwelling? It's freestanding, right?
It's a carport that's freestanding, but the roof system does attach to the side of the home because then the roof will carry from the post and beam carport approximately 6 feet to the side of the house, which is
Okay.
over an existing
Okay.
deck.
Is that what triggers the dimensional variance? Because it's not a freestanding like garage?
Right.
Okay,
If it was
I got it.
freestanding, it would be an accessory structure and we would
Right.
be doing
Okay,
this right
and
now.
is it, and this is open on 3 or 4 sides, 2 sides?
It's open on all sides, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Go ahead.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a favorable recommendation to the zoning board for, the project name is 25 Breezy Lake Drive, special use permit and dimensional variance. Alan Lemake and Charlene Jones, owner applicants. Again, 25 Breezy Lake Drive's the address, plot AP 70, lot 78, zone R20 residential, single family residential, and proposed is single family residential with an attached carport. The applicant is seeking the special use permit for an 18 by 18 expansion of a non-conforming structure. Ingress and egress to the lot. Ingress and egress to the lot is provided via the existing driveway with the permanent physical access to Breezy Lake Drive. The proposed addition will not impede automotive or pedestrian safety, traffic flow, or access to the property. There is sufficient off-street parking available on the property, and the proposed addition will not decrease the number of parking spaces. Utilities are pre-existing. The abutting properties and surrounding neighborhood is primarily single-family residential. The proposed addition is compatible with other lots in the area. The proposal is consistent with the Coventry Master Plan, Comprehensive Plan, excuse me. The granting of the special use permit and dimensional variances will not affect the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood. And I would like to incorporate the planning director's report into my motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Kenny. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Mattson. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, board. Have a nice evening.
Okay, next we're under old business, number 10, preliminary plan, Mary Ann's Manor, owner, Mary Ann Lewandowski, applicant, same, proposed 2-lot minor subdivision with one existing house, AP 66 lot 15, RR2, and the address is 151 Reed Schoolhouse Road. Anybody here representing the applicant?
Again,
Mr. Chair, we have Mike Ramundi from Situate Survey. He's actually on the Zoom call and he is here representing the applicant.
Okay, Cody, do you want to bring him in, please?
there it is.
How you doing? Can you hear us?
Oh, you're talking to me? Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, we're talking to you.
name and address for the record, please.
For the record, my name is Angelo Mike Raimondi. I am a registered land surveyor in the state of Rhode Island. Also, a licensed soil evaluator and a licensed septic system designer. And our offices are at 410 Tioga Avenue, Coventry, Rhode Island. And this evening, I just like to make myself available to answer any questions or maybe give you a quick overview of what we're proposing. And it's up to you guys and gals.
If you want to give us a quick overview, that would be great.
Okay, this evening, we're proposing a 2-lot minor subdivision on the westerly side of Reed Schoolhouse Road, Coventry, Rhode Island. There is an existing dwelling on approximately 4.5 acres of land, and we're zoned R2, I believe, so we have ample land to meet the standards. I have performed soil evaluations, and they came out very well, and designed a septic system for a proposed home that showed on the plan that was approved by the state of Rhode Island for a 3-bedroom house. And it's a standard system because these soils are actually pretty good. Reed Schoolhouse Road, although it's bound, we show bounds, Rhode Island highway bounds, reverted back to the town of Coventry some time ago, but the bounds are still there and they still delineate the property lines. There is water, public water, county water in the road, so that no new wells will be proposed. And that's basically it. The Levandowskis live in the existing house, and I believe that Mary Ann is going to move into the new one, and her son may take over the old one. I haven't been updated on that lately, but that was the original concept. Other than that, we meet all the zoning regulations, but I point out, as you probably already can see, that the existing house does not meet sideline regulations, but we can't do anything about that, so it is what it is. I know that's a quick overview. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that may be out there.
Thank you very much. Anybody on the board have any questions for the applicant?
I have a question for,
Go ahead.
does this require any action by the zoning board because of pre-existing condition?
Right, so the nonconformity is on the, if you're facing the house.
I
it's on
got
the
it.
right
I
side
see
of the house, so
It's on the existing.
nothing is changing on that side of the house. That would be considered pre-existing nonconformity. So no action by the zoning
Okay,
board.
I was just curious. Okay, thanks.
So the new structure will be conforming.
Correct.
Okay. Anybody else?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
I was just wondering if you saw the Bruce Hagerman's town engineer letter. His comments of the new house should include rooftop runoff infiltration dry wells and minimize the direct discharge of stormwater runoff from the new driveway into Reed Schoolhouse Road by grading the new driveway so the runoff is directed in the front yard. Are you aware of that letter? It was just, it was to Russell Crossman, March 7th, 2022. Just wanted you to be aware.
I don't believe I've seen that. If that question was directed to me. There's something that we could address, something too, for the final. We're proposing on the septic system plan, a pervious road, and I'm looking at the plan right now. We may have put in some. I think the septic system shows, I can't see it. I'm getting too old. My eyes are going.
Mr. Chairman, maybe I could just rephrase it. Would you be comfortable with us if we were to grant approval with the stipulation that the new house include rooftop runoff infiltration dry wells as recommended by the town manager? That's pretty much standard in town for anything from the town engineer. I'm sorry.
He doesn't know if that was directed to him.
That's for you, sir.
Me? Yes,
Yeah.
I would be happy.
So
with
if we were to grant preliminary approval tonight, it would be with the stipulation that the new house would include rooftop runoff infiltration dry wells as recommended by the town engineer. And just as a point of information, that's pretty much standard on most of the new construction that comes before us.
We'd be happy to oblige.
Thank you.
Also, would you like final administrative?
That would be a question I would have asked before the end of this session.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions by any board members? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion.
Go ahead,
Thank you.
Mr. Anderson. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I know.
Motion to approve this preliminary application, subject to a couple stipulations we'll get to, for the project name, Marianne's Manor, 2-lot minor subdivision, street creation or extension. Owner applicant is Marianne Levandisky, 151 Reed Schoolhouse Road. This is AP 66, lot 15, zone RR2. The lot size is 4.47 acres. The existing uses we know is single family residential. The proposed is 2 single family homes. And the applicant proposes to divide the existing 4.47 acre parcel into 2 parcels. The minor subdivision will not require any dimensional variance and will result in a 2 acre lot and a 2.47 acre lot. Bear with. I like to read this because it's a lot of work goes into these things. It's vetted properly. So the minor lot subdivisions involving 2 creation of lots, the subdivision regulations are defined for review and subdivision for review for minor subdivision lots. So just real quick, the criteria for potential subdivision, further subdivision, the proposed subdivision, there is no potential for any further subdivision of this property. Any new lot in R2 must have a minimum of 2 acres. As to the adequacy of the street on which it's proposed, the proposed lots have access to Reed Schoolhouse Road. The street shall be adequate for access for vehicular traffic. As to the adequacy of access from the lots onto the street, the proposed lots will be physically accessible for emergency service from the street on which they front. Debatable, but Coventry doesn't have any official scenic highway, so there's no relationship there. Conformity to zoning, the proposed lot conforms the Coventry zoning regulations, and conforming with the comprehensive plan, the 2-lot minor subdivision is generally consistent with the town of Coventry comprehensive plan. Adjacent and nearby uses, the proposed residential development is keeping with the adjacent uses. So noted is the prime farmland or farmland of statewide important soils be maximized wherever possible by the means of clustering lots. And regards to feasibility of internal access streets, the lots will have direct frontage on Reed Schoolhouse Road. And again, that's the subdivision regulations. As far as the finding of facts, this is consistent with the comprehensive plan because the comprehensive plan supports residential development in the RR2 zone. It's defined RR2 as a district that includes rural areas which are generally not served by public facilities and in which intensive development should not occur. These areas are characterized by low density, as we know, residential development, large estates, agriculture, and certain low intensity non-residential activities accidental to rural environment. These parcels with their proposed acreage are consistent with the comprehensive plan. Significant negative impacts. So soil evaluations have indicated that the land is suitable for an OWTS and there are no freshwater wetlands present on this property. Strict adherence to the guidelines set forth in this permit should ensure that there will be no negative impacts to the environment. Zoning standards has said the development will comply with the Coventry zoning ordinance. Traffic impacts, from a single family house, like lots like this should be negligible. And now the stipulations that we talked about, we know the new house shall include rooftop runoff, infiltration, and dry wells. The applicant shall minimize direct storage of stormwater from the new driveway into Reed Schoolhouse Road by grading the new driveway. So the runoff is directed to the front yard. And Another one was the applicant. We haven't mentioned this, but the applicant shall submit an application and receive approval from a soil erosion and sediment control plan from the Coventry town engineer prior to the issuance of the building permit. So those are the three stipulations we wanted to add in there. And I would like to add that this move forward to final administration for this project. I want to incorporate not only the planning director's report, but also the letter to our planning director from town engineer dated March 7th, 2022.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Anderson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kenny. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Again.
Yep. Thanks. Thanks. Okay, one more time, I will announce, if anybody is here for residents at Boyd Brook, it will be continued to the May 25th Planning Commission meeting. Thank you. Okay, under new business. I think we're at 11, right? Yes. Under new business for discussion and or action, it's a pre-application / site walk. LaFleur Platt. Owner, Leonard LaFleur Jr., applicant same, proposed 2-lot minor subdivision with one existing single-family dwelling, AP 318, lot 125.1, zone RR2, 109 Rock Hill Road. How you doing, Mr. Schwarzer?
Good evening, everyone. Sam Swarsa, 46 South Main Street, Coventry. Here for the applicant, Leonard LaFleur Jr. Site is at 109 Rock Hill Road. It's on the south side of Rock Hill Road. There's 8.36 acres. It's lot 125.1 on Assessor's Plat 318. There's an existing dwelling that sits centrally on the lot. The site is generally flat, sloping slightly towards the east, towards Hill Farm Road. The soils on Rock Hill are pretty restrictive, so we're anticipating a perched water table there. The applicant is proposing to cut 3.25 acres on the western portion of the lot to form a separate buildable house lot. So this is a 2-lot minor frontage subdivision.
And that's off Hill Farm Road?
Yeah, Rock Hill.
Rock Hill.
Farm, yeah.
And this is, does anybody else have any questions for the applicant? No. Okay. Ms. Lukowitz, if you want to ask the board if they're entertaining.
What I'd like to do is recommend that we eliminate site walks for the minor subdivisions and just go with site walks on the major. I myself would like to do my own site walk on the minor subdivisions. I don't know how everybody feels about this.
I'm fine with eliminating the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Is everybody on the board good with that? It's
Not
pretty
asking for any
straightforward.
relief, no relief, so.
Pretty straightforward. And the applicant would be okay if somebody
Right.
wanted to drive by from the board and look at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I would say you'd be fine with that.
Okay, I guess we'll see you at preliminary.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Need a break, anybody? All right?
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Okay, 11.2, we have a final plan, proposed retail store. Owner, Michael W. and Kimberly K. Hodges, applicant Garrett Homes LLC, proposed is to combine a 2-lot, demolish the existing building, construct a new retail store with associated parking and site improvements, AP 56 lots 9 and 11, it's zone VMC, 495 Washington Street. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. For
Name
the
and
record,
address, please.
Joseph Brennan from the law office of Joe Shikarchi, current temporary address 240 Chestnut Street, Warwick, Rhode Island, 02888. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're here for the final plan review. You guys have seen this project many different times, so I'm not going to get into a full explanation, and I know you still have a lot to go. But just to quickly add, what we do have is I have the engineers on the line available via Zoom. They weren't able to make it today. I have the architects, the landscape architect, if you have any questions. But the main changes from when we've last seen you that we've done is based upon comments from DOT, the access on Washington Street is actually only going to be in. There won't be out access from it. So that way everything going out can be accessed through the signal that will be on MacArthur Boulevard. And then they had some minor notes from water and sewer and storm drainage that they satisfied and got those permits with. And then revisions were also made to the stormwater subsurface infiltration basin on the field infiltration rate. Something I would definitely need to defer to the experts to explain if the board needed more. We did note that we read the staff report. We're in agreement with everything. We have no problem. But we do believe that the soil erosion and sediment control plan was submitted and approved by building. I think we just have to have that paid for and they issue it at the time of the building permit. But that has been completed, submitted, and they did review it and everything seems in accordance. So with that said, if there's any questions that the board has, we can certainly answer them.
Did you see the engineer's report, his concerns?
I think I did, yes.
I have
Although
it here.
it may be more prudent for if the engineer were on the line to answer the questions regarding those.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Want to start with the engineer?
Yes, please.
Make sure that he's comfortable with our engineer report.
Yes, please. Yeah. Can we bring her? Her name's Kimberly.
Good evening. Yep, I'm here on Zoom. I apologize for being virtual here, but I ended up with a case of COVID, a household full of it after vacation. So really, I'm with BL Companies, an engineer with BL Companies in Hartford, Connecticut. And as far as the comments that we had from the engineer, there was one comment really regarding the adding a valve on the stormwater system. Do you want me to share the plan with you? I can do
So if
that.
you don't mind,
Okay.
since this is final.
Yep, absolutely. Actually, while we're here, you can just take a look. This is the aerial. This is the Gardens and Restaurant that we're looking at. And so we have on the grading sheet, just to orientate you, the Washington Street is down here on the bottom. MacArthur Boulevard is over on the right. This is the proposed facility. And if you look at the subsurface infiltration system here, there's an overflow to a structure here. There's an existing 12-inch line we're tying into. There was a dry well here to pick up clean runoff. That's basically just from this grassed area here, to make sure nothing was going on the adjacent property. And they requested that we actually have a valve in this line just to prevent any dirty water from the street system potentially going back up into the clean water area. And then the other comment was really with the soil and erosion control permit, which we did receive as Joe mentioned. And the other comments really with planning, it was just getting all of our permits, which we actually did go through, and we went with Rhode Island DEM, RIPDs, the sewer committees with Warwick and Coventry, and we got all those and filed them with you.
Any other questions from the board?
Anybody else for the engineer?
Just to kind of recap, the outstanding issues are those that are shown on page 4, and I know you don't have this in front of you, which means you've got the approval from the fire district now, Rhode Island DEM, RIDOT, sewer subcommittee, Kent County Water, National Grid, and the soil erosion. So there's nothing else outstanding with this application. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so I have one question regarding the comment on the RIDOT application. Now, you say they wouldn't even let you do a write-in, write-out onto 117. I guess my concern is that all the traffic now is going out onto MacArthur Boulevard. And
Yes.
if they all come back towards 117, that's probably not a bad thing, but I just don't know how. I remember there was quite a few comments at the public hearing from the neighbors with concerns about the traffic using that entrance and exit as the main entrance and exit to the shopping plaza. So I don't know if we can either prohibit a left turn there or go back to ride out and see if they'd be opposed to a right out onto 117. I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not going to hold this up for that, but I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me to have all the traffic exiting the Dollar General with that many parking spaces dumping into a residential neighborhood because they didn't want, and I realize the signals at MacArthur, but again, I just don't know which direction the people are going to go. They could take MacArthur down and cut through the neighborhood and then end up on Fairview Avenue, the back way to head to Phoenix.
So just, we did go round and round a little bit with Rhode Island DOT, and it is, they were requiring that this is entrance only, and we talked about what we could do. And I just want to kind of put a little bit of qualifier on here. The expected trip generation is roughly 100 trips maximum on like Saturday. And we do have our traffic engineer on here, so she can speak to this as well, but it's a less intensive use than the restaurant. So we're not talking a huge, influx, and it's, one tractor trailer a week and a few box trucks. So I understand the concerns, but again, we're not dealing with big numbers here, and it's a less intensive use than what was previously here.
Yeah, and the town might be able to address MacArthur Boulevard, but let me just ask you, let me rephrase it. Did you discuss having a write-in, write-out, and they were opposed to it? Or was it kind of like, we'd prefer if you came out this way, and then there was no further request after that?
I'm going to defer to Pat Palla, who's our traffic engineer, and I believe it was more related to the signal. So Pat is on here.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I won't belabor it. I just wanted to know if the question was asked. If it wasn't asked, and they just, I was just curious.
And is she, hold on. I know she's on here. Okay, yes, we did ask that question.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, you can't, for some reason she's having problems, but we did ask that question.
Okay, so you chatted and verified it, so that's fine.
Right, yep, sorry.
Okay,
She's
all right.
texting me.
I got it. That's fine. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you for
sorry.
answering. Yeah, don't apologize. Thank you.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
There she is.
Sorry.
Probably on mute.
Name and address,
Sorry.
please.
Pat Padlov, traffic engineer for BL Companies, located out of Meriden, Connecticut.
Thank you. So did you hear the question?
I did.
Okay.
I've been listening. My apologies.
That's okay.
So for the record, we have been going back and forth with RIDOT, and one of the concerns that they had is for the traffic signal, if they would prefer for us to have just a ride-in access only into the site. One of the concerns that they had was touching their signals and providing additional signal heads or touching their signal mast, doing any type of additional adjustments that may be warranted with widening the driveway to provide a better access. That was one. And the second part was the loop detectors. Because there are, if you look at the site plan, they were right above infiltration plants. So we just wanted to nip at that, and we figured that the easiest access would be through MacArthur Boulevard. And as Kim mentioned earlier, the highest volume that you're observing out of that site or out of that driveway is on Saturday with 38 vehicles in an hour, which is less than a vehicle per minute coming out of that driveway. So it's not substantial.
So basically, they wanted to circulate the traffic to the traffic light.
No, the light's not at MacArthur.
Oh,
It's
it's
at
at-
the entrance.
It's at the entrance.
Now I get it. Okay,
All
I
right.
I get it now. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we're under the standing that the light was at MacArthur. Okay, it makes
No,
sense
it
now.
is not.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
No problem.
Any other questions for the applicant? You have anything else to add?
I do not, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for, to approve the final plan for the proposed retail store, major land development for Michael W. and Kimberly POTUS, if I'm saying that correctly, the applicant being Garrett Homes LLC for property located at 495 Washington Street. That's Assessors Plat 56, lots 9 and 11 in the VMC zone. It's a former restaurant, and the proposal is to merge lots 9 and 11 and construct a 10,640 plus or minus square foot building for retail use. Based on the planning director's report, they have all of their approvals, evidence of RIDOT's approval. If it hasn't been submitted, needs to be submitted to the town. And I am looking. Thought there was something here. Okay. Yeah. Yep. The comprehensive plan notes that the purpose of Village Commercial District is to provide land use category that will support a variety of less intense type land uses, including retail services, light industrial, office, and residential uses. This proposed retail store is consistent with the town of Coventry's comprehensive community plan. The proposal will not likely have significant environmental impacts considering the existing use of the property. The subdivision will be reviewed by the town engineer and RIDEM and has been along to ensure that the project conforms to both local and state regulations with respect to stormwater management and the implementation of best management practices. The subject property is zoned VMC, and the applicant already has received zoning board approval for the dimensional variance for the size of the building. All other aspects of the project meet the current requirements of the VMC zone. The only stipulation is that the applicant add the cast iron flap over the 4-inch PVC pipe inlet with the doghouse manhole with the intent to prevent headwater in the Rhode Island DOT drainage system from backflowing into the proposed dry well. And I'd like to incorporate the planning director's report into my motion.
Thank you, Mr. Coloni, and I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
It sounded like from Mr. Smith. I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much, members. Thank you for all your time on this.
Okay.
Okay, next on the agenda, 11.3, it's a public hearing, development plan and review, Walmart, owner, Walmart Real Estate Business Trust, applicant Walmart and Company, Tyler Latimer. Proposed approximately 29,600 square foot addition on the west side of the existing building for Market Fulfillment Center, AP6 Lot 1, Zone Business Park, 650 Center in New England. Hi, how are you? Name and address for the app.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission. My name is Melissa Horn. I'm an attorney representing Walmart, Inc. I'm with the firm Higgins, Kavanaugh and Cooney, and our address is 10 Doran Street, Suite 400 in Providence, Rhode Island.
Thank you.
I also have with me tonight James Cranston. He is an engineer with the firm Bowler. And he can answer any technical questions. I'd like to start by saying that this proposed project is located within the center of New England commercial development zone business park. It's located specifically at 650 Center of New England Boulevard, identified as Tax Assessor's Map 6 Lot 1. The whole site is 21.21 acres, and there is currently a Walmart store on the site with associated parking and utility infrastructure. The proposed project is the addition of a 29,660 square foot building addition on the west side of the Walmart building, which will serve as a Walmart market fulfillment center, which is an automated version of Walmart's current pickup program. So you order and pull up. This would be an automated version, and the addition will service that process, the automated process. Once it's functional, customers will be able to pull up in front of an assigned delivery door at an appointed time, and the groceries, et cetera, will be placed in their cars. The project itself requires relocation of the existing pharmacy drive-through from the west side of the existing building to the south side of the building. The addition will occupy an area currently used for parking, and will result in a net decrease of 107 parking spaces, but leave a total of 944 parking spaces on the site. 12 parking spaces will be provided in front of the Market Fulfillment Center for deliveries, and there will be 3 larger spaces for box truck delivery parking. The proposed construction will result in the addition of 1,380 square feet or 0.03 acres of impervious paving over the existing condition, which is only 0.1% of the overall impervious area that's currently there. The total site disturbance will be less than 1.5 acres. There will be an underground infiltration basin in accordance with RIDM's requirements for redevelopment. The other site improvements will include installation of new lighting in the Market Fulfillment Center area and a new grease trap near the relocated pharmacy drive-through. The utility work includes a new switchgear enclosure and a new electrical transformer on the north side of the building, and 2 new EV charging stations, plus infrastructure for additional charging stations to be installed in the future. So at this point, I would open up the floor to questions for me or for.
I
more
think
likely-
you touched on all the engineer report. I believe you hit all of those. So I was concerned with that. Automating, meaning you order your food or is it just for the food or prescriptions also?
Prescriptions will continue to be delivered through the pharmacy on the south side.
So
of the
you
building.
could order your food in advance and that would be a pickup area.
Right, just pull in and the robots will have
Oh, we all wrote.
collected everything.
But not just food, it would be everything in the store.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Any other questions? for
Full
the
service
applicant?
delivery.
Yeah, go ahead, sure.
Good
Name
evening.
and- Name and address for the record.
Jim Cranston, Bowler Engineering, 352 Turnpike Road, Southborough, Mass. 01772. Project manager, civil engineer of record for this project. I just wanted to point out, first of all, Melissa did a great job. She pretty much did my job going over the technical aspects. But this is basically going to replace the existing pickup feature that's there now on that same side of the building. But like she said, it is automated. This expansion is solely for the automated part of the process. It's not additional retail area for customers to walk. And it's essentially a bunch of conveyor systems. I'm kind of excited to see what this is going to look like and how it works. But that's really what the program is. It's automated. Hopefully it's not replacing jobs, but hopefully making things easier and making it more convenient for customers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the board have any questions? Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Mr. Flynn, yeah, just a question. So with it being automated, the whole purpose is for people to pull up and receive something at a specific area at a time and take it away? Or is it for delivery trucks to receive goods to ship them out like Amazon?
It's individual customer pickup.
So it's for the actual customer. If I ordered something, then it would say pick up at this site at this time and leave. So it wouldn't be like a delivery service. So it would increase vehicles picking up and making deliveries. It'll be for people shop.
That's correct.
Okay, I just want to clarify that. Okay.
Anybody else?
So there's 12 spaces, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
12?
there are 12 dedicated.
And I'm fully aware of what takes place now where they have to come running out of the store and find the person and it's really taken off, quite honestly. So I really am just looking for a confirmation. How many spaces did you say we were going to lose over there?
So the net loss is 107 spaces of the total site, but on that side of the building today, there's 116 spaces. Those are basically going to be replaced by 12.
Right. And based on the turnover, that's 10%. So those people are no longer parking in the lot, going in the store, shopping. They're just pulling up and they're leaving. So just the sheer volume, it's almost a wash. I mean, at least based on what I've seen.
It's really for customer convenience and competition with e-commerce, right? So-
Right. And that's that was my point. It's not like those parking spaces are necessarily needed anymore because there's a significant percentage now that are just doing the curbside and getting out of there. So they don't need to park in a full-fledged parking space. It's being replaced by this portion of the building of which the town will be realizing some tax revenue. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else?
What's, Mr. Flynn, thank you. What's the approximate turnover time for those 12 spots? How many minutes per vehicle?
So obviously this isn't up and running yet, but I think it's going to be similar to the current pickup feature. I think it's maybe every 12 to 15 minutes, someone will have an order slot. You know, you'll have a certain window of time where you'll get there, pick up your goods and leave.
Fits right into what Mr. Colonian said. They're not in the store shopping for an hour. It's quick. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Will they still have delivery services? In other words, I've called Walmart a few times and they've delivered anything to my house. Will that be eliminated?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with that feature.
Oh, yeah, it's a great feature. Believe me.
If it is, they won't eliminate it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do see in the store where these women and men are filling all of these bags, you know, for the grocers. I guess they come and pick them up.
Right. That's probably the pickup feature where customers will come to that side of the store and the associates will bring their goods out to them.
Oh,
Under this scenario, you walk up to the portal on the side of the building and then it will open up and your goods will be there for you to take yourself.
and I also get, I mean, if I want something for my garden, I go on their website, I order it, it's delivered free. A lot of times I'm.
If you're getting it delivered, why even go to the store?
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Anderson.
Thanks for coming out. The automation, conveyors and such, robots, is that going to present any noise problems? Granted, we're boxed in four sides. You're going to have overhead doors, I'm assuming, that might remain open. And I'd hate for just noise pollution coming from this machinery.
Sure. So the portals on the side of the building would be closed when there are no orders being fulfilled or taken. And for security reasons, you know, the doors on any man doors would not be accessible to customers. So with an enclosed building, I wouldn't imagine there being any sound being emitted from the building. The only overhead door is actually on the north side, facing the top of the page. But that's where they would bring, deliveries in and out, where they would have small box trucks. But it's nothing above and beyond what's happening now, right? The loading dock is on that side. So I don't think that this program is going to add any additional noise to the site, to be honest.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, this is a public hearing. So what I'll do is I'll open up public hearing. I'll start at the left-hand side. Everybody will have an opportunity to talk. And if you could address their concerns, and we'll see how it goes. And if it gets to be too much, then you can we'll have everybody come up and you can write down their concerns and review them. But we're going to start one by one right now. So I'll entertain a motion to open up public hearing.
Motion, open public hearing.
Motion by Mr. Carlson. Do I have a second by Ms. Lukowitz? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Do you want me to vacate the podium?
What's that, please?
Vacate
Yes.
the podium?
Maybe you could sit at that chair and just take notes when people come up and you can answer their questions. Mr. Estigian, come on up.
I just want to clarify, is this just right up to the microphone? Thank you. Just please state your name. Donna Restigian, 401 Hopkins Hollow Road in Green, Rhode Island, 02827. Is this Your last name? Rustigian?
Rustigian.
Thank you.
Is this public comment only for Walmart?
Yes,
Mhm.
we do have a public comment at the end of the meeting. If you would like
Okay,
to,
for the.
for
Hollow
anything,
Estate.
but
Oh,
we can't comment on it, but we can certainly take your comment.
Perfect. Okay, I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Come on up, sir. Name and address, please.
Yes, my name is Arthur LeBrun, Lebrun,
I'm sorry, LED.
RUN, 2501 Village Green Circle. I live right near the proposed addition to the Walmart. My concern, first of all, is there going to be any change in the lighting? Will there be bigger lights, smaller lights, whatever? Because that could be a factor for us because we don't have the light shining right in our house. So that has to be a concern. My other concern, are they going to do anything for the buffer? Is that going to be changed at all? Right now, there are pine trees there. And we can hear the trucks going in, but not that much. And my other concern is traffic. First of all, the main road on that whole deal is horrible. I think you all know that. You've had complaints about it. If they're going to bring in more stock, that means more trailer trucks. You're going to bring more trailer trucks in a bad situation. About a month ago, we had a gas break out there. You remember that? That was a disaster. First of all, because we only have one way in and one way out. That's horrible. That should never happen. It's a disgrace. There should be an emergency exit there at one point. You could do it very easily. That's another story.
I agree with you.
Okay, that's another story. But some concern should be thought to the road. If you're going to bring more trailer trucks in, number one, you're going to destroy that road more than it is now. The reason that particular gas pipe broke was because of trailer trucks going over it. That road only has about that much tar on it. The rest is dirt. It was never finished. You all know that. All right, so that's one consideration. Our road comes down on the side, all right, where they come in. Can I go over there? Is that all right? To show you something?
Sure.
Okay. Let me ask the engineers, where is our road here now? This is this. We live here. Where is our road?
Your road is.
We live here, right here.
Okay, one at a time, please. This is a public hearing.
This is our road here. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, this is our road here. There's a turnaround here. That's where the trucks go in. Now, if there's more trucks coming in, they might be coming in at night and they back up on this road. That can't happen. And they do that all the time. They park here, which they're not supposed to park, and they park here. That should be considered.
Okay.
All right?
Our signs.
Excuse me, sir.
But they do it
Okay.
now, you know?
Okay.
That's basically the things I was concerned with. The lighting, number one.
Yep.
The buffer, number two, and the traffic situation. And I would really consider, before you guys decide to do this, consider the main road. It's bad now. It'll be a lot worse.
Thank you. Would you like to answer those, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
I can take care of a couple of them. With regard to the trucks backing up on the access road, we've had this comment before. And what I've done is as you've stated, or as people have stated, that's not supposed to happen. And so I will report this to my contacts at Walmart, and they will request that the store manager give direction to the truckers who aren't usually Walmart
Yeah,
people,
sure.
not to do that. And I think in the past, it was a while ago that I was here last and had these comments, but my understanding is that it's one of those things that, it's like dealing with little kids. You tell them to stop and they do for a while and then they go back to it. So we will address that.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you know whether there's any forecast as to whether there'll be increased deliveries as a result of this?
So I don't know how many trucks are, there daily, but I do know that, again, this feature is really to be a service to Walmart customers as a convenience. And I feel like Walmart customers, I don't think people are going to shop at Walmart once this is built if they didn't shop there now. So relative to the additional goods, I'm not sure that the number of trailer trucks is going to be increasing based on this new feature. The one new feature that is new, and I won't hide that, is the box trucks. It's a smaller truck for helping with deliveries, but they are actually EVs, and that's why the EV charging is planned. So their electric vans obviously would not create any additional noise. So I think that's a benefit.
And as far as the road goes,
the
Walmart would probably agree with everybody that road is not in top shape.
Yeah, that's really the road. Is really not their concern. That road was never finished. I agree with you. There's a binder code on that. And I believe it's in the court system. So we're hoping we get some relief soon on that.
The other thing I want to mention was the lighting and the buffer.
So, yes, so.
I can address those.
And the lighting actually.
Yep. So we did submit a new lighting plan. It does comply with the requirements, the performance standards. That was prepared by a lighting vendor. And the lighting on that side is actually smaller in order to comply, and it's cut off. So the lights are facing east and they're in the island that sits between the road and the parking lot. So the lighting should not be any different than what it is today. We are not impacting any of the vegetation on the west side of that drive. That's a beautiful buffer, by the way. I was pretty happy with that. There's a nice berm of a lot of plantings.
So the buffer will not be
That will not be.
disrupted.
Correct.
Did that answer your question, sir?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else like to come up? And nobody on the left? Come on up, sir. Come on up, sir. Name and address for the record, please.
Thank you. My name's Rex Stone, Stone.
Thank you.
2301 Village Green Circle. And to kind of carry on from where Art was, as I see it right now, with the 14 spots that are there for pickup, a lot of people drive in.
This is the survey. This is what's existing.
This is the existing pickup area, and most people will drive into this area, into here. And a few do drive around. But with the new proposal, it looks like everybody's going to have to come around here to this area to be able to go into their different spots. So I'm just questioning if we're going to end up with a real traffic jam back in here. And it would be, and I do go along with what you're saying, that probably the number of tractor trailers is not going to increase that much. It's very minimal. But it'd be more funnel into the same area. And I would get to create kind of problem. It's like going along with what Art was mentioning. There are almost every day you go back here, people park along the road, which makes it harder to get through. And even at this present time, there are some tractor trailers that will go into this area to just wait their time to get into a spot or to pull out here and back into their loading dock area. So it's a question. Are we really going to have a bottleneck in your area? That's about it.
Thank you, sir. Who would like to answer that for him?
I can address that.
Okay, thank you.
So this is the proposed plan. He is correct. The circulation under the new driveway configuration is one way. And really the reason why we did this is because of the new drive-through pharmacy. What we want to do is keep people from congesting this intersection, this driveway, and any of the access to the Village Green. So what's happening is customers will come up this way and turn right. This is a pretty generous scale, so cars can make this maneuver. They would flip around, one-way circulation. The parking is angled, one-way circulation for angled parking for the MFC customers. And then the drive-through itself, customers would be coming in this fashion. What we didn't want to have is people trying to come in from this direction and backing up this intersection. It would just be a mess. So that is a fact. That is how it's working. We don't envision there being a traffic jam up here. I think once customers understand how it works, it'll be pretty clear which way the circulation is working out there.
Thank you.
Can I follow? Can I just follow?
Yeah,
up
go
to
ahead,
that?
Rick.
So will tractor trailers now not be, in other words, the way it was explained to me, they occasionally go in that way and occupy that area adjacent to the road within Walmart's property. There's not going to be any need or space for them to do that now. They're going to have to just go right to the back of the building. Is that correct?
I agree. I think if there's no program, it's going to be in the best interest to fix what they're doing. And I think Melissa mentioned, we're going to have to go back to our client and point out the concern that trucks are idling there. But two, this program cannot work if that's going to be the case.
Right. So they can't park on their, so that only brings us back to the road situation. And just for my own information, that road is privately run by the condominium association. Is that?
No.
I think there's an access easement to the condo, but it's on Walmart.
No, I'm not talking about your condominiums. I just mean in general. That's a private road network back there. Okay. So, and you said there were signs up there.
Yes, sir.
And so the fee, interest in the real estate, and then someone has an easement. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to figure out who has the enforcement of the no parking or idling of the trucks. Because it's either the condominium group that can go out and say, hey, the easement precludes you from doing that, or Walmart has control of the road. And if the signs are there, I'm just curious.
My experience is that Walmart it's in their interest to control the truckers. And my understanding is that this is primarily a problem at night because there is a window of time within which.
You can come up. You have to wait. I will bring you up. Don't worry. Thank you.
This may have changed since the last time I heard about it, but the last time I heard about it, it was primarily at night because there was a window of time overnight when deliveries weren't permitted. And so the trucks would arrive and they would back up on the road. But if that's a different situation, I certainly can go back to Walmart and we can.
Well, to kind of follow up, what I'm trying to determine, and I understand their frustration, and I understand what you're trying to do with your project. What I'm trying to get at is somebody has the legal right to that street and somebody else has the right to pass and repass, and someone has the legal, I'm not talking about what practice is. Somebody has the right to enforce the no parking, no idling of trucks in that access road. And I'm just trying to figure out who that is.
Who owns it? I think Mr. Cranston's looking.
I just pulled up the survey. So it is land owned by Walmart, but there are various easement agreements between Walmart and the Commerce Park Management LLC.
Okay.
So what that agreement says, I don't know, but there is an agreement.
So Walmart owns the fee and somebody else has an easement to pass through it. Other parcel owners, for the benefit of other parcel owners, will use that. If there's an expansion back there, they could use that. So it's incumbent upon, I guess, the other people to enforce the easement, but Walmart being a good neighbor to say, hey, we recognize other people have an easement, so we're not going to impede their use of that property. That's what needs to take place. Okay, thanks.
Did that answer your question? And I believe we can, as a board, stipulate that trucks will not park there as a condition.
I think that's a good idea.
If it does get improved, we can stipulate that. And I think we should stipulate. Thank you. Anybody else like to come up? Come on up, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Constance Thornton, THORNTON, 2901 Village Green Circle. I was wondering about hours of operation for the new fulfillment center. I mean, are we talking a 24/7 or is it just the same hours as the store?
Good question. Could you answer that for her, please?
I can't. I'm sorry, I don't know. Do you know, Jim?
I don't know the exact hours, but I would assume it's consistent with the pickup program. I don't know if people use it, but my understanding that usually ends at like 8 PM. I don't think it goes till midnight. I personally don't use that myself.
So
but-
nothing should change what's existing
I don't
now,
believe
except
so.
it will be automated.
Correct.
And you said the trucks will be electric?
The box trucks that would help support.
Reduce the
that
noise and
or
obviously the
EV.
smell.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
That store closes at 11 now, right? It's no longer 24/7. Oh, they cut it.
Not
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah, I have a question. How many more trucks are going to be delivering compared to what they do now?
He answered that. He didn't think any. Yeah, he didn't think any.
No, so I mean,
They just don't want the trucks to park,
yeah.
which I agree with them. They shouldn't park there.
In this addition, is it going to be stocked with more items?
It's storage to support this program, and there's a lot of automation and equipment. I have not seen yet the guts of the building, but that's really what this is about.
Hold on 1 minute, sir.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, Mr.
I just pulled up on the website for Walmart. The pickup starts at 8 AM in the morning and it ends at 8 PM. So I would imagine they would keep the same hours.
So we could stipulate
You
that
can
also.
stipulate that. Yep.
I want to get everybody first and then I'll come back to you. Is there anybody else like to come up? Come on up, ma'am.
I don't think I heard this.
Oh, I'll get you next. Oh, no, I'll get you next, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Marguerite O'Brien, 2806 Village Green Circle. I just have a question. Does this mean the customers have to get their own bags as it comes out?
I don't know.
I mean, or are they gonna have some little man come out of this little thing and?
They do have bags of groceries and everything.
Yes, but right now they put them in the car, and that is the thing for pickup, especially for moms with little babies or in a snow or a rainstorm. So now, does this mean that that's not going to happen anymore?
I would say that if they're currently putting groceries in your car, they will continue to do that. But what is going to change is the way the materials get put together. So the way your bags get packed is going to be automated, as opposed to the people who currently have the carts and are clogging up the aisles. You do go into Walmart.
I'm sure you don't remember the old way when they would put a bucket on a roadie and it would come around. Somebody else.
No, I don't.
Wait.
I have to say, I like to grocery shop, so I usually go in the store.
Thank you. Would you like to come up, ma'am? Name and address, please.
Maria Pagliata,
I'm sorry,
2208.
Maria?
Maria Pagliata,
How do you spell your last name, please?
Paliotta,
Thank you.
2208 Village Green Circle.
Thank you.
All right, the continuing problem about the trucks. I know they've said it, done it before, and they stopped for a while, and then they started up all over again. I leave at 4:30, 5:30 every single morning, and at least 3 or 4 times a week, there are trucks parked on that street, sometimes both sides. How is a car supposed to get by?
I don't know, but we're going to stipulate that because I'm hearing a lot of.
Yeah, if you're gonna stop it, it's gonna stop for 3 or 4 months, and then it's gonna start up all over again.
Not if it's stipulated in this plan. They will have to address it.
But it's been stipulated before.
Not here it hasn't.
Well, they can't run this automation from what I'm understanding. If trucks are parked there, it's going to be a hindrance to this new operation. So this is going to benefit that because they can't be there.
All right, what about the traffic problem? Do you know they don't even stop when they're coming out on the center of New England? Do you know how many accidents there every single month?
I agree.
What is going to be done about that? Any traffic lights going to be put up? I'm afraid to go home at night sometimes. I have to go through the parking lot because I'm afraid to drive on the center of New England.
So can I just?
Sure.
Here, I mean, what I would suggest, since you just told us that, when there was a complaint, the parking stopped. And, we've talked about the fact that, sometimes people are like little kids. They stop when they're told to stop and then they, try to do it again. So don't wait until there's a proceeding like this. Go into the store and talk to the store manager.
Yeah, you know what that's going to get me?
Well, it should get you some relief.
It's going to get me a pat on the head and a walk out the door.
Well, it shouldn't. So I will, Ms. Poliata, what is your address?
2208 Village Green Circle.
Okay, I will report your complaints to Walmart and they will speak with the manager.
And what about the traffic coming out on the center of New England? They don't even stop. They roll through it.
It's a private road.
Accidents.
There is a stop sign, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
that's-
is it?
Yeah.
People don't know what a stop sign means.
I would suggest maybe that's the Coventry police
Yeah.
department's issue.
Well,
They're
what's
there
the
all the
traffic?
time anyway.
Are you gonna put up?
That's
some,
really not Walmart.
Stop signs,
Yeah.
red
Well, I
lights?
understand there's a stop sign there already.
Can you put up a red light?
The lights and the lights and traffic control devices in there are owned by the condo association. So that's your village green is going to have to, as a condominium,
New England?
yeah, it's all private, all of it. The road is private. It's all, Walmart pays to the association, Village Green pays to the association, BJ's, and they're supposed to be policing it themselves. The problem is that there's a receivership proceeding and a number of the parcels that are also privately owned are tied up in the courts. And until everybody gets it all straightened out, there's no money to fund the second coat of asphalt or connect the bridge or do any traffic improvements.
We just gotta live with the condition.
Well, until it's going to get resolved.
Worse and worse and
Well,
worse.
I can't speak to that, but the only other, and John, maybe you could help us. If we stipulate this as part of development plan review, the other option they would have besides calling the store manager would be to contact the town zoning official and let them know.
Yeah, I would say either, yes, if it's stipulated, then at that point it would.
Come under the jurisdiction of the town to enforce it as well.
Correct. I mean, my first thought would be to call the Coventry police, but if it's stipulated, then it kind of, the ball goes into our court at that point.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll have another layer of protection there.
That's why I suggested the stipulation, since they are in front of us. Maybe we can help some of the things that have been going on with this project, because we'll stipulate it in the project. So you can call the zoning office and they can fine them.
That is if this receives approval and
If it
stipulated as
receives
such.
approval.
You
Right, I
can't
don't
call
wanna
us
say it's
tomorrow
gonna
and
get
us do
approved,
something.
Right. Thank you, John. Anybody else on this side would like to come up? You're gonna get me in trouble because you already spoke and I told him go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Constance Thornton, THORNTON, 2901 Village Green Circle. I really want to thank the council as a whole for the support that I hear this evening. I'm hoping that it's going to go a long way to solving our issue. Thank you.
I'm glad you came.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Come on up, sir. You're good? You're scared of her, huh? You're scared of her, that's what it is. If she stands over there, I ain't parking over there. Would anybody else like to speak? All right, I'm hearing none. Cody, we have anybody on Zoom would like to speak? Okay. I'll ask one more time. Does anybody here want to speak? Okay, I'll come on up, sir.
Is this just a general public comment?
That will be at the end.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is just for Walmart.
Okay, I don't want to speak on
All right, thank you. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to close public hearing.
Make a motion, we close.
I have a motion by Mr. Smith. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
I'll second it.
I have a second by Mr. Reyes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is now closed. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
And we will stipulate those concerns if in fact we vote to pass it.
The business, right? What's next, Mr. Chairman? No, don't we have to vote?
Yeah. Is the applicant all set? Are you ready for us to
Take
take a
action?
vote? Okay. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Well, hold on. Could I
Okay.
just double check? So
Sure.
in the planning director's report, there's an indication you require the stormwater and RIPD's permit from DEM still? West Warwick Sewer Authority and Coventry Sewer Department for any proposed modifications, sediment control permit, and approval from Kent County Water. You agree with that?
Fact, we agree.
Okay, and you're requesting a waiver on the minimum parking spaces. Although it appears that there's an abundance of spaces that currently don't get used, so, but you're looking for that waiver.
Right, we do not comply with current zoning, but we feel that based on the historical use of the property, there's adequate
Okay.
parking.
Okay, so anyone want to make a motion?
I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Anderson. Thank you.
You know, Mr. Colonian lined me up. A motion for a conditional approval of the development plan review. Project name Walmart redevelopment project. The owner applicant is Walmart Real Estate Business Trust. Attention, Tyler Latimer. The address is 650 Center of New England Boulevard, AP 6 Lot 1, Zone BP. Existing use is a Walmart shopping center. Proposed use is the same, but the addition of a market fulfillment center. The applicant proposed a 29,600 square foot addition to the west side of the existing building for an automated market fulfillment center. As I said, it may get wordy, but there's a development plan review that has certain requirements. I just like to read that. As the development shall be integrated into the existing terrain and surrounding landscape, while the analysis of the proposed addition shall occupy a space that currently houses a parking lot and drive-through lane, the development is designed so that it is well integrated into the surrounding area. In regards to the architectural style, to be in harmony with the prevailing character. The area is generally business. Elevations provided by the applicant indicate that the addition will not be a departure from the existing style of the building and those in the surrounding area. As far as development shall be served with adequate water supply and waste disposal, the project will utilize the existing sewer lines. The applicant will have to receive approval from the West Warwick and Coventry proposed sewer modifications. The requirement, the development plan shall maximize the convenience and safety of vehicular and pedestrian movement. The development plan maximizes the convenience and safety of vehicular pedestrian movement within the site. Regards with the development plan shall show adequate measures to prevent pollution. The applicant has provided a drainage report that indicates the proposed on-site improvements will provide adequate treatment of the required water quality volume resulting from over 50% of the redevelopment area. The applicant will also have to receive a sediment control permit from the town engineer prior to the issuance of the building permit. Regards to development requirement that the development will not place excessive demands on town services. The plan does not appear to place excessive stress on the town infrastructure and services. Telephone, the requirement of telephone, cable, TV, and other such utilities shall be underground. Well, the analysis is utilities shall remain underground where feasible. Requirement pertaining to the exposed storage areas, machinery, surface areas, trucks, loading areas, utility bills and structures. Other services shall be set back or screened. to protect the butters and objectionable features. Well, the analysis here is the objectionable features are generally located to the rear of the lot, outside of view from the abutting residential neighborhood. The proposed development shall not be a large departure from the type of view that currently exists. And lastly, the requirement of development plan shall comply with all zoning requirements for landscape and parking and loading dimensions. The applicant, the analysis is the applicant has provided a landscape plan within their DPR submission. The plan indicates that there will be more landscape than what currently exists on the site. Findings of facts, these considerations is the proposed project is consistent with the comprehensive plan. So the comments here is that the project is generally consistent with the comprehensive plan and proposes business is located in the appropriate zoning district. The criteria that the project will not have any significant negative impact on the environment. Well, the project will not adversely affect the environment. The property is on public water and sewer. No wetlands or streams are in or adjacent to the property. As far as the criteria, the proposed project, does it meet dimensional standards for zoning ordinance? As we said before, the project meets the dimensional standards of the zoning ordinance and the BP zone. And the last one, the finding of facts, the proposed project will not have detrimental impact on vehicular pedestrian traffic in the area. As stated before, the proposed project will not have a detrimental impact on vehicle or pedestrian traffic area. The stipulations, as we've already discussed, one, the project shall receive stormwater RIPD's permit from RIDEM prior to the final approval. Two, the project shall receive approval from West Warwick Sewer Authority and Coventry Sewer Department prior to final approval. And three, the project shall receive a sediment control permit prior to the issuance of a building permit. And I think this is the time where and if I miss one, but the stipulation that if this is the time and place to do it, the stipulation that Walmart control and enforce the no idling and or parking and or tractor trailer use on the west side roadway, if that's accurate. I'd also like to, the applicant has asked for a waiver for the minimal parking spaces. I'd like to grant the waiver in my motion. We spoke about the town engineer's letter. I'd like to add that into my motion. I'd also like to add the planning director's report into my motion.
And final administrative? John, you good with final administrative on this? This is a DPR?
Yes.
Yes, we'd be comfortable with that.
Okay. In this motion, I ask that they proceed to final administration.
You have any?
I do want to get a second.
I'll ask for discussion first. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second, I have a motion and I have a second by Mr. Kenny. Discussion. Go ahead.
Just want to maybe suggest that with regard to your stipulation, Glenn, that Walmart could put an SOP, standard operating procedure, on file for the satisfaction of the planning director pertaining to the idling issue, so that you would have some sort of a letter of record that we could refer to as part of this, but also in the future.
Thank you. Would you like to amend that?
Yes, I'd like to amend that to add an SOP from Walmart
Thank you.
to the further plans for this last stipulation.
Second, Mr. Kenny.
And then the second.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
What's next? That I'm on. Oh, I know. That's what it said. Public comment.
okay, next we have public comment. If anybody would like to come up and speak, we can't comment on your comments, but we certainly can take them into consideration. So does anybody want to come up for public comment? Come on, Mr. Starian.
Hi, Arthur Westigian, 01 Hopkins Hollow Road, Green. I'm speaking on Camp Green. I know you voted, so I just want my comment on the record.
Is this for Camp Green?
For Camp,
We voted on master plan.
yes,
Okay.
I know, but I still want my comment.
Okay, no problem.
On the record. While I understand that there is a clause in the comp plan that allows for cluster development, I'm not saying that that's some illegal thing. But that one clause just flies in the face of 100 other clauses about the western end being distinct, being rural for recreation, for forestry, for open space. That intensive development should not occur there. And suburbanization, urbanization strongly discouraged. And I can't think of a better example of suburbanization and urbanization than this 7-house cluster plan. So I just wanted that on the record. And a question, what happens next? What's their next step, if anything?
They have to come back for preliminary. So they will be having all the engineering work.
And is there public comment for that too?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you will be all noticed. Thank you. Anybody else like to come up? Come on up. I hear you.
Good evening, everybody.
Name and address, please.
John Turog, is she?
Nope. No, this is public comment, so just
Okay.
name and address for our.
John Turog, 232 Tyoke Avenue. Okay.
Thank you.
I came here because I saw on the agenda that there was a request by the Oaks at East Shore Drive for a 1-year extension on the road on East Shore Drive that they're supposed to put into there. And I guess I came too late. I assume it was approved.
The extension was approved, yes.
But
It's not an extension of the road, it's an extension of their time of completion.
Right. But I just had a question on that, why they would do that. In other words, right now they're building, intensively over there. And they have one entrance on Tyoke Avenue and one on East Shore Drive. And the one on their entrance on Tyoke Avenue is completely blocked off. So they run all their big machines and everything through East Shore Drive. So I'm wondering why they want to put off paving that and, making the extension on that. It seems to me like that should be the first thing that they do. So that's one comment. I'm kind of like in the middle. One of my cousins on one side sold to Bob Du Bois, and my other cousin on the other side sold to him. So he's like making both projects, and I'm like in the middle. The problem is I have that one North Road that he's working on. And when it went before the planning board made a ruling that a stub road would be put in, that because my land is in the middle, that would go from the development on North Road into my property, that stub road. So that was the ruling. But what happened is that Bob told me and my brother and sister, we all own the property, at a Zoom meeting, that if we didn't sell to him, he would cut off that stub road and instead just make it a driveway for the person who, the house that's on that stub road. So I said, well, you can't do that. It's like right in the, the plan that you have to put in that stub road. So anyways, he's going ahead and it's a 50-foot stub road. He put in curbing that cut off like 30 feet of the stub road. So he's doing like what he said he was going to do, which is he's cutting off the stub road, and he made just like a 20-foot entrance, which he paves to the driveway of the person's house who is on the side of the stub road. Now, today I went over there and I saw that, I guess it's occupied now, that house. And obviously the owner put up a mailbox, a post and a mailbox right in the middle of the stub road. So what I'm saying is, I just want that stuff removed. It's supposed to be it's been approved as an open stub road. It shouldn't be, put in mailboxes and curbed off and everything, because then, at some time later, they're going to say, well, since that's already been done, then, too bad. So that's my question is, can't that be,
I think your best bet would be to call the planning department and they can review it. We have an engineer on staff and they can, you can actually go there and they'll review those plans for you.
well, actually, I did that quite a while ago. And they kind of shrugged their shoulders and they said they weren't going to do anything about it.
Is the road shown on the plan?
Yes.
All right, then it's there.
Called Road B.
Yep, so it's there.
It's there.
He just doesn't have to physically construct it for you.
No, in other words, that's what he came back. I think the last meeting was October 23rd of 2019. And I guess according to the Town of Coventry subdividing regulations, when you put in a stub road, the person who, who owns a property, Bob DeBoy, he's supposed to put the stub road in right up until the end of, his property. But he didn't want to do that, which I can see makes sense. So it was just left at that meeting that he would not have to do that, but, he would have to keep open the stub road. But what I'm saying is, I don't see allowing him to close it off like that. Maybe, given, like I said, the person who put the mailbox in the middle of the stub road is under the impression, I guess, that it's his property. So I just think that, I just don't think that it's going to be, fair. And what he said to us was, like I said, that if we didn't sell the property to him, to Bob DeBloy, that he would do that. He would cut out the stub road. So that's what he's trying to do. And I'm trying to, stop him from doing
Well, our staff can certainly stop him from doing that. I don't know if you met the new director, but it looks like he's going to be right on top of it. So
I'm sorry, who's this gentleman?
I'm Herb Durfee. I'm serving right now as the interim director. So that I will, if you give me a call, I'm going to talk to John tomorrow and we'll re-examine what's going on and we can look at whether it's the deed or what have you to see what's going on and whether there is a violation or not. But I'll be happy to at least revisit with you your concern because I know you had some discussion with Russell.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry if you could repeat your name.
Herb Durfee.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate it so far. I just hope that, something is actually going to be done because it seems to me like somebody shouldn't try to threaten you and,
if it's on the plan, it will be done.
Well, okay. Well,
Thank you,
sounds
sir.
Good. You made my day.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else like to come up for public? Come on up. Name and address, please.
Stacy Harrington, 410 Uplands Hollow Road. And I'm here to voice my opinion about I hate to say it, Hopkins Hollow Estates, the Camp Green project. And I believe that it is not consistent with the comprehensive plan for a rural community to put a 7-home tract of houses. It does not belong in our rural community. It doesn't match the existing community. I know all those lots are smaller lots, like the 7 2-acre parcels in a row, but they were all grandfathered in before the 5-acre zoning. So all of those houses have been there and their road frontage is well over 200 feet, where all of these houses are 150, 150, 150. So it doesn't really match. The size of the lots match, but the houses are all boom, 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 right on top of each other. That to me, that doesn't match. And there also is a public safety risk with that bad corner, a sharp corner. Those driveways are gonna be, people fly up there around that corner and there's gonna be one driveway after another. So I don't think that's safe. The night that Don and I were married, a young man was killed, went right off the road there. So there's been a few fatalities on that corner. driveways belong there, right there. And another thing, if that 7, what is it called, the cluster
development.
development. That's the nice word for it. If that were built in town, that most likely it would be somewhere where there was going to be town water, and out there drilling 7 wells and 7 septic systems. Isn't that going to somehow affect the people that are wells that all surround them?
All I can say is you'll be hearing a lot more preliminary, and it will be another public hearing, and there will be more testimony.
Okay, I guess we were under the opinion that we read it wrong about tonight. And then we stayed here so long, we felt we had to speak.
No problem. I always let people speak. You know that. This whole board does.
Are you gonna give me a little pat on the head?
No, I'm not afraid of you like I was her. I was afraid of her. I'm not afraid of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Come on up. Oh, sorry. No, you go ahead, sir.
Go ahead, no, go ahead, I got a big mouth and I can.
Yeah, she doesn't even have to come up. We can hear her from there. Come on up, sir. Just kidding with you, Name and address for the record, please.
I got a frog. Gary Nelson, 94 Lakeside Drive, Tyo West, I guess it is.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fencing ordinance. I talked to Russell, and also I talked to Hillary Lima.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was sort of put off. I did talk to the new town manager. What's his first name?
Ben.
Ben, yeah, Ben. And he said he would come out and take a look at it. Fence ordinance. I have never seen a fence ordinance as simple and indirect as the town of Coventry. There's common sense fencing. Of course, it's between neighbors. And I know property lines are a civil matter. And anyway, I have an issue with a fence. And I came up with a term. It's visual harassment. I don't know if you've heard, you've never heard of that, but it's true in a sense. It's where a fence is put up, the property line agreement between 2 parties or 3, whatever, that you will have a agreement, like the bad side and the good side, common sense thing. And I think common sense is dead now, it seems, in a lot of things, in a lot of issues. But anyway, the fence that was put up, the ugly side was put up toward my garage. And at one point, it's this far away, which is not good at all. But the ordinance states that it's to be 6 feet tall, and industrial, I think, is 10. But there's a situation where there's a fence post, and that's part of the fence, isn't it? I would think you're not going to have a fence without a post. Well, the extension above the fence is like 2 feet, maybe 18 inches. But anyway, I can't imagine without, a post being 6 feet with the cap is fine, a decorative cap. But anyway, it's an issue that needs to be resolved, I think, with a new fence ordinance. And I know property lines are in some cases issues. And if you have witnessed some of the property line issues that are really bad, and it's not that, in this case, it's nothing like that, of course. But if there could be some agreement with a new ordinance to satisfy neighbors, that would be a very good thing for the town of Coventry. Now, granted, I say that there's probably not a lot of issues with fencing. I mean, property, the amount of property has a lot to do with fencing. So anyway, it's something that I have looked into, and I've talked to people. Russell, by the way, how is Russ? He was sick.
I believe he's doing better, but I don't know.
But I've been trying to get a hold of him.
And I hate to dump everything on our staff, but it sounds like a zoning issue, the fence. And I think that they can clarify what our zoning actually says on fencing.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you mean.
They can make it a little clearer to you.
What,
Well, you said it's 2 feet from your garage or house, and
no, well, a survey was done, but it came out to where it's actually 5 or 6 inches from the corner of my garage. So I can't even go around my house at all. We've been in Coventry for 50 years. At the house we're at now is over just 20 years. But everything has been fine because there were shrubs along the side of the garage. And I figured that was the property line. But anyway, it came out that the survey that was done made at the end of the garage 5 or 6 inches away. So the person that put up the fence put it right up to where it blocks me for even going around the end of my garage.
go ahead, Mr.
Just, I've been here a week and a half, but the fencing regulations is actually, in my experience, pretty light. You don't define whether the finished side versus the unfinished side faces toward your neighbors or towards you in from that standpoint. So I understand what the gentleman is speaking about. I think that we do have a town plan process that we're in the middle of updating. So if there are, I would suggest at least putting a letter on file with our office that we could put in with a town plan process that would suggest that kind of regulatory change. And then I think that, as the planning commission, as you may run into issues, I'm going to be talking to staff where there may be other regulatory changes that we may consider as from that standpoint. But now's a really good time to put those kinds of comments on file with my office so we can factor them into the comp plan update.
Yeah, like sheds have a certain distance from property fence or property line. And for the size of the shed, it has different distances. And I don't know, Warwick has something different than Coventry and probably other towns.
Every town's different.
But I did write up a new ordinance, and I could submit that.
Please.
And that's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Name and address, please.
Donna Restigian, 401 Hopkins Hollow Road, Green, Rhode Island, 02827. I know you said you can't comment on what was already ratified, but I actually kind of want to ask about the process so I can understand it.
So they'll come back for preliminary.
So the preliminary is more detailed.
Yes. The density
plans.
and the construction and the conceptual plan was done at master. Now,
Okay.
preliminary is going to take a little while because he has to do a lot of engineering work. There's going to be a lot more information. There will be another public hearing.
So his master, did he have to get approval from DEM or is that in
That's going to be
preliminary?
in preliminary.
Okay, all right, so like, whether or not he passes for the septic systems and retention ponds and all that kind of stuff. Okay, because I just want to make sure I understand the process before I, make certain comments. All that aside, I just want to echo what my husband said about the rural character. And I'm really hoping that you all really take that into consideration and understand the vital nature of the forests in Western Coventry and how they align with the Eastern Corridor and how Connecticut and Rhode Island is trying to save the forests along the corridor because they're getting fragmented. Now, I know that we've been down the road before with different projects and they've been, shot down the solar because they were going to clear cut and, cut off the top of the Fox Hill and all that kind of stuff. And what I also really want you guys to take to heart is the people who live here. It's easy to vote on something when, if you guys live more in the center of town, you're used to that hustle and that bustle and the word urbanization was thrown out. It's really difficult to bring ourselves to the idea that we're going to have these ticky-tack McMansion houses in an area that is known for its farming, at the agriculture, wildlife. It's a small community. I'm just hoping that you all take that into consideration. We pay a lot of money in taxes. I don't know, on about $10,000 or $12,000 a year. And we don't even use the school systems. We use the trash pickup and that's it.
Me too.
So I think that, we're an aged community out there now. I'm in my 60s. My neighbors are all in their 60s. My husband's pushing 70. No, just kidding. But we, thank you. I got it.
Well, I'm not going to say what he's doing.
No, he lets me say whatever I want. But I know that the comp plan hasn't been touched in years, and you guys, they've been trying to do it for 2-3 years now to really revamp it. But you still have to go back to what is in existence because that is what planning and zoning is supposed to be going off of. And I know that I've heard that over and over and over again. And when I was on the land trust committee, they kept referencing it and RR5, rural, keep it, buildings, old timey. We're going to just preserve. So please take that all into consideration. I realize that you have to go along with, do they meet this set of facts? Do they meet this criteria? And it's a bing, bang, boom, and I know that there are legal requirements behind your decisions and if you miss something that they're going to go after you. I understand that. But if there's any caveat, there's any little loophole, something that you can possibly find, I urge you to please keep our area the way that it is. And just for the safety, like Stacy mentioned, any of you come out for a ride on a nice day up our area? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
That road
that turn is so dangerous and people go so fast. We got people from Connecticut who would like to just fly down our road because they're coming down from Greenhouse Road, and they use that like it's a main strip, and like she said, somebody died. I think there's 2 people that died on that curb already.
I could make a suggestion. I mean, they just did my road, Calvin Town Road, has now become a racetrack again. And I actually have a police officer with permission to sit in my driveway.
Well, I'll tell you,
So
we have one
that's an
police officer per shift.
Well, you have more than one police officer per shift.
No, well, not up in our area.
Well,
There's
they
not
have
the-
to put
they're
a
not up there
detail-
that often.
They have to put a detail on for traffic control. They will, because they are
Yeah.
doing it on Calvin Town Road.
Mhm.
They don't want to see
Who do we
any
talk to?
casualties. Call the police department.
All right.
And,
Because, I mean,
I'm telling
you know
they
that
sit in
that's a
my
state
driveway.
road. So we got tractor trailers going down that road. It's a 2-lane road. And it's, I think it's 30 miles an hour. But when you're going around that curve, it's only 25. So I just think, is it 20 around the corner? And not to mention the school buses. So you think you're talking about 7 of these houses. They got to have at least 2 cars because I think they're 2 or 3 bedroom houses. So there's got to be at least a husband and a wife driving, so that's 14 cars, possibly. That's a lot backing in and out, and entering, exiting. And when I call it rush hour, when everybody's going to work, I work from home. So my house faces Hopkins, my room faces Hopkins Hollow, and I can see them zipping back and forth, back and forth. And it's a good hour at least. They're zipping and they are not going slow at all. And then you've got narrow lane where the people are coming out and they think that they can just go, nobody's coming, but they are. So I just really wanted to throw all of that out there, wanted to understand the process, and thanks for listening.
Is it decided that that's happening?
No, they got to go to preliminary. Oh, one other question about the process. If you all end up deciding that this is going to go forward, does it then go to zoning?
I really can't comment on a project that's at master plan. So.
Well, I was just wondering about
If you
the
want to go
process.
to the planning office, they'll explain everything, but
Okay.
because this is not on our agenda,
Okay.
it's just public comment.
Yep.
We've really been told not to get into
All
too
right, I
much
can appreciate
detail.
that.
But
Okay.
they're there every day. They can help you.
All right.
Thank you
so
very much. Anybody else? All right, thanks. Go ahead.
Sorry to belag your meeting, but I just have 3 things I think are important enough to talk. I wish I could talk in the beginning of the meeting for something like this, just because I do think of the importance of it. I've already mentioned one, which is the town plan process, which is underway. We do have a consultant on board. If you don't know that, the beta consultants, I think they're called. I'm just starting to sort of get wrapped up into that. But up on our town webpage is a town plan link. So anybody that's listening to this or the planning commission, please use that link to find the updates. There is additional information coming. There's currently a survey out there. The first public meeting is going to be at the tail end of May. I can't remember off the top of my head when it is, but I think it's the week right after that Monday, the Memorial Day. So please attend that, provide comments as necessary, especially for those that are listening to the meeting tonight or follow it after the fact. Secondly, again, I've only been here a week and a half, but I do think for the record, I just wanted to acknowledge staff. They've been without a director for a couple months now, right?
3 months.
3 months. So I think that Gail, John, and Carrie have done an admirable job in trying to keep you guys up to speed and keep that office running. From what I can tell so far, they've done a really great job, and it's worth acknowledging that.
Yeah.
And thirdly, not to belittle because it's last, I do think it's extremely important. Russell has opted to vacate the position. So whatever best word I can think of, whether that's resignation, retirement, or what have you, Russell has opted to do that. He has vacated the office. an emotional day for everybody that was
Sure.
there. And I just want to acknowledge for the record, because I know you would do it and all that sort of stuff, but I just want to make sure that you're aware that that has occurred. I'm the interim director. There will be some kind of an advertisement that's out there. I've already put my name in for the permanent position, should Ben opt to hire me into that particular position. But again, I want to make sure that that enough respect is given to Russell for the time that he dedicated as part of the planning director position, but also, he served a long time on the planning commission as well, including in the chair role. So I just want to make sure you guys know.
I've been on since '07, so I've known Russell for a long time, and yes, he was a tremendous addition to this board and the planning department.
And he's a good friend.
Yes, I actually talked to him today. So,
Me too.
Okay, great.
so
Good.
thank you. Cody, is there anybody on Zoom that would like to speak on public hearing?
No hands raised, we would ask them.
Does anybody on the public would like to speak?
Let her know she's in.
Hi.
Come on in, Darlene.
Hi, everyone.
Name and address, please, for the record.
Hi, it's Darlene Tennant. I'm at 74 Rock Pine Road, Coventry. I just like to make a comment, especially since there is an interim planning director in process. And I would just like to make a comment about the town calendar and meetings. The planning board, this meeting is never put on the town calendar like the town council meetings. So it does get a little difficult, I think, for either new people or just anyone checking to see if is there an upcoming meeting. I know that there's a standing meeting. What is it, the fourth Wednesday or whatever every month? But why can't we have that put on the calendar? And also, to get the agenda for the meeting, you have to go to the State of Rhode Island site. At least that's my knowledge of it, to get the agenda for this meeting.
Yes, our interim director will answer that for you. Very good question.
Yeah, Darlene, frankly, I noticed that today when I was trying to look for some stuff, and I've already been working with Cody to try to get that stuff up there. What it entails is my getting some training, as well as Gail, on what we call iCompass. And that will allow us to have the agendas and the meeting packets as part of that. I'm definitely working on that. But yes, I owe you an apology on behalf of the department for not getting the planning commission and the zoning board stuff up there. But I am diligently trying to get that done as soon as I possibly can. In the meantime, if you want to call our office, I can send you a list of the meeting dates for both the zoning and the planning.
Okay, okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
FYI, it's usually posted on the main page of the website, the town website. And it'll be like in a little section that shows all the other different types of meetings, planning, zoning. It'll have town council, CCFD, or any other meeting that they list on the town.
Yeah, but that's only when they're posted. They have an actual calendar.
It's not user
And the
friendly.
calendar is not.
I'm working.
Yeah, thank you.
I never got a notice on my email about the meeting tonight, which I always do.
I'll write that one down.
Anybody else, Cody?
No.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion, second. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.